In this video, I'm going to show examples of a speed tool in Red Rhino software called a Conduit Wizard. Now, the Conduit Wizard works when you do manual takeoff. It also works with PlanSwift takeoff software. Now, I'm not doing an example or demonstration of that right now. This is where if you take off manually, I'm going to show you some tools to speed up the process immensely. Now, I have the screen open. I'm in an estimate called a takeoff page, and we find materials on the left and they populate to the right. So what I did was I clicked on wizards. It displays a list of wizards, and you can see them all here. Alarm wizard, ATS, automatic transfer switch, that is, wizard, breaker wizard, bus duct wizard, lots of different ones. I won't read them all, but the Conduit Wizard is what I'm going to show you. Now, I'm going to click on it. It opens up, and it's just basically a little box. Okay, so you do the input here, and this does a lot of work for you, estimating conduit. Now, just so you know, we have training videos for practically everything in estimating, and this is the video on that. If you get to the Conduit Wizard, you could click that video and watch how to use it. Now, I'm going to move now to the blueprints and show you an example of feeder takeoff, okay? So I just want to explain real quick that over here on the left, again, this is a set of plans. I'm showing it on screen, of course, so it's electronic. But on this set of plans, this is the main panel SES over here, and panel A is over here. Let me blow it up a little bit. You can see it. See panel A. And down the wall there further is panel B. Now I'm just going to explain real quick. I recommend taking off or measuring conduit at right angles. I would measure over from SES and down on the blueprint, but then you want to add for the conduit riser. You know, the conduit riser is the conduit that goes up or down. Now in this example, I've already calculated these distances. Again, my purpose is kind of just to show you how to use the Conduit Wizard, but it starts by an accurate material takeoff of the conduit length, okay? So I measure the run to panel A, the run to panel B, and C and D, and I go input that on a form. Next, I'm going to show you the form, okay? Time saving and helps you to keep accurate. Now again, this is a feeder schedule where you write down the distances and information about feeders. Again, this is a great form because it keeps you organized. It's very important to be really accurate when taking off and inputting your feeders, because oftentimes they can cost $20, $30, $40, $50 a foot for feeder conduit and wire. Now just quick example, in this form you put in where it's coming from. I put panel SES and where it's going to, panel A. Now on this small job that I was displaying for you, there's 4 panels basically. So when you calculate the length, you put that in here. Now just read with me here. It shows conduit size, what size conduit, what type conduit, number of conduit runs. Elbow is very important because you're going to enter that in the Conduit Wizard. Number of conductors, wire size, in other words, there's 4 3/0 in this conduit right here, 1 number 6 ground. The makeup length is 6 feet, and I'll show you what that means. And the application is plus 10 feet. I'll show you what that means in a minute. But again, even on really, really big jobs with lots, well, not even with, with any size job that you have feeders, it really helps to use this form. Now, as I input these into Red Rhino, I check them off. I'm just going to show you the Conduit Wizard for one run, which is this 58-foot run of 2-inch with 3 4/0, or 4 3/0, I should say, and 1 number 6. Okay, so next I'm going to go to the Conduit Wizard and show you how to get going using that. So the flow works, guys, from making the material, doing the material takeoff to some type of form, and then input it into Red Rhino. When you do that, this is called an audit trail. You check this off as you input it into Red Rhino, so it's not input twice. And again, these techniques and tools and forms keep you organized so you can be accurate. Now we're back into the estimate using the Conduit Wizard. What you do is you set it up for size and type and fittings at the top here. So I'll set this for EMT, but before I do, I just want you to notice that there's all different types of conduit in here. See, there's PVC, we have schedule 40, schedule 80. There's PVC coated rigid, that's PVC coated GRC, they call it Rob Roy, some people. EMT, rigid conduit, MC cable, the ENT Smurf tube, sealed tight, direct barrel and case barrel, and on and on. C conduit and intermediate conduit. So you use this for any type of conduit. Now I'm going to show you how to do branch and how to do MC cable later, but I'm going to select EMT, and I'm going to go select 2-inch. So I click the drop down. Now notice the different sizes, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, inch and a quarter. I'm going to go to 2-inch, but see it has clear up to 4 and 5 inch in here. I'm going to click on 2-inch and select that. Okay, now next, the conduit application is kind of a magic thing because the higher the conduit is off the floor, the more labor it takes. So this has different conduit applications. I'm just going to explain this. It has underground, which is the least amount of labor. Slab, normal means you're walking on the floor, not using a ladder, so it has a little bit more labor. Exposed plus 10, it means the conduit's above 10 feet. It has more labor. You're going to be on a ladder or some type of lift equipment. And exposed plus 20, you're probably going to be in a lift equipment that takes the most amount of time. Now I'm just going to set this as at exposed plus 10. This was on my form, okay? Now this run was only 58 feet. I'm just going to do one run here. It doesn't matter if it's 58 feet or 158 feet, you'll get the correct result. So I'm going to put in 58 here and number of runs 1. Now I'm going to set this for 4 3/0. So when I click this wire drop down here, it has all different types of wire, I should say here. Like I'm scrolling past now fire alarm cable. So if you estimate fire alarm, you would put that in the conduit. But see how it starts out with 16, 14, 10, and then it goes clear up to 750 MCM copper. Now, just real quick, I'm going to show you it has 5 kV cable, it has 15 kV cable that you have to get quoted, but it also has bare wire. See that? Bare copper, bare 6 bare, 4 bare, 2 bare for your grounding, and it has aluminum conductors, and then down here is cable. So let me go back up here to THHN, or rather copper, and I'm going to select 3/0. Okay, so I put 4 3/0 here, and I'm going to select one number 6 for the ground. So I scroll down here, find my number 6, click on it, and put in a quantity of 1. See how easy this is? Now, the makeup length, this is something else. It's a time saver. You tell the program how many feet of wire you want sticking out of both ends of the conduit, and it will add that. A lot of times when I'm doing feeders, I do 6 or 8 feet because you have to sometimes go down the top of a big 7-foot 6-inch stand-up section. So I'm just going to set this for, say, 7 feet as an example, and then you put in the elbows quantity. Okay, now elbows quantity, there was 3 elbows in this run, so I'll put in a quantity 1. I see my auto populate thingies popping down there. Okay, now that's it. You start from the top, you work your way down, and next I'm just going to click the add button. It'll flash and it'll populate to the right. Now I'm going to click over here and just show you what it did. I'm going to actually just know that you can edit anything in here or delete it, but at this point you can edit it. I'm just going to save it so we can take a look at it together. So see how it shows the EMT, couplings, connectors. See that? I'll click on the lines, supports, and it shows elbows, total footage of wire. Okay, so let me kind of run through it again. Let me just remove the highlights. It shows EMT conduit, 2-inch, 58 feet. It shows the price per 100 feet here, okay? Red Rhino has what's called national average pricing, where it pulls pricing in. They change it and update it once a month. So it shows the total price of all that conduit. Now, keep in mind, these are very dated. As of this recording, this is what price this is. Another date, a month or 2 or 6 from now, it could be different. But the program pulls in labor from a labor catalog. Notice it shows 4 hours, 4.21 hours to install the conduit, okay? And then it has each item the same: couplings, connectors, supports, elbows, 3/0. Look at that, 3/0 copper. It shows the total footage here, 288 feet. It shows the cost per 1,000 feet. Now I'm running through a lot of information here. And it shows the extended price of all 288 feet with the labor to pull the wire. Okay, so that's the Conduit Wizard. I guess I could have blown this up a little bit to show it better. And let's just look at that. So again, it shows the conduit, couplings, connectors, supports, the elbows, the wire, and then it comes complete with the unit price, extended price, and again, the extended labor to install it all. Okay, so that's with regard to the Conduit Wizard for feeder conduit. Next, I'm going to show you how to use the Conduit Wizard for branch. I'm going to say something else before I move on is this UPC information and manufacturer information, I'm going to make that invisible. I had forgotten that I set that to be showing that information, and on the next screen you'll see that'll all be invisible. There'll be less to look at here. You'll just see from the catalog over. Okay, you'll see what I mean. Okay, so I'm starting over with kind of a clean slate here. There's no materials behind here again. I'm going to start over. Now, or when I say start over, I'm showing you now how to estimate or how to use a conduit wizard for a branch. Now, with branch conduit, you want to take off each conduit that has a different quantity or different type of conductor. Let me tell you just what I mean as an example. Let's say that you have some conduits that have six, say 3/4 conduit with 6 number 12s. You would take all those off and show a total distance in there, and I'll show you what I mean by that. But if you had conduit with 7 number 12s, you would input that separately so it captures enough captures all the wire needed. Now again, this I'm just going to kind of fly through this because I showed a lot of this before, but I'm going to show you an example how quickly you can add conduit, say 3/4 inch with 6 number 12s and 3/4 inch with 7 number 12s, okay? Just a quick example. When you get in the rhythm of using the Conduit Wizard, man, you fly through this, okay? So I'm going to set it up for EMT here, and this is where you can set up fittings, EMT fittings. Now I'm going to set it for set screw steel, but you see it has die cast steel and weatherproof, which is compression, right? And down here are your insulated throat. IT stands for insulated throat. I'm going to set it up for set screw steel, and I'm going to set it up for 3/4 inch. Now I'm going to kind of fly through this. I've already done the takeoff for this. I'm going to set it at exposed plus 10, and I know that I need 646. There's a whole bunch of runs in here that have 6 number 12s. So I'm going to put in number of runs. The reason you do this is because the program shows 2 connectors per run. I happen to know on this one, there's 44 runs, okay? Now, it's already defaulted with number 12 stranded, and in this example, my home runs have 6 number 12s. I'm going to set my makeup at 2.5, and it's going to spit out 2.5 feet coming out of both ends of 44 runs. And that's all I need to do. I don't have to put the elbows in here because they're field bent. So I just click the add button, populates to the page behind it. See that? Again, I made the UPC and manufacturer invisible that I forgot to do on the first part of this video. But let me just save this here. That's the way it works. You make a material list and you use the Conduit Wizard. You input the stuff and save it here. Now, of course, again, I said this before, you can delete everything or edit anything on this page. But see how slick that is? 3/4 conduit, connectors, couplings, supports, and total footage of wire. When you're doing this manually or with spreadsheets, it's just painful. Now, again, one thing it does is it shows the extended labor, the total labor it takes to install each line of materials. Now, I'm going to go back into that Conduit Wizard. And again, I said as an example that I also have 3/4 conduit with 7 number 12. So when I go back to that Conduit Wizard, oops, not that one. When I go back to the Conduit Wizards, it's still set up for my 3/4, okay? See how fast this is? And I happen to know that I need 323 feet, and there's 18 runs, okay? And there's 7 conductors. So again, you wanna input each entry for a different number of conductors to make sure that you get all your wire in your estimate. So I just made those quick changes. I click add, populates to the right, and I click save. Okay, now that's how to do branch conduit. I'm just going to show MC cable next, and that'll be the end of the video. Now for MC cable, it's a lot simpler here. You don't use all the things on the Conduit Wizard. There's about 4 or 5 things you input here, and I'll show you what I mean. I want to explain something though. When it asks the number of runs of conduit here, you know, a run of conduit is a conduit that goes from box to box or from fixture to fixture, from switch to light, from light to light, from plug to plug. That's a run of conduit. So when you're doing your takeoff, you want to count all those runs. Now, in this example, you just go up here and set this for MC cable. And I'm going to show you the different MCs Red Rhino has. I click this drop down, and when you look below the 6-inch here, notice the 14.2, 14.3, 12.2 with the control wire, 16.2, 12.2, 12.3, 12.4, 12.6 plus 10.2, and so on. Okay, all these 10.2s clear up to 6.2. Oops, I scroll down here, clear up to 6.4. Okay, now I'm just going to select 12.2 to make it simple. Click on 12.2. What you do here is you don't pay any attention to the I think I have to click the find button up here first. I think I forgot that. There we go. So you put in the total footage and number of runs, and then it defaults at spacing your supports every 5 feet. So as an example, I'm just going to put in 960 runs, or rather 960 feet, and number of runs 32. Okay, you count the number of runs. I'm using hypotheticals here. You don't mess with these conductors. You don't mess with the wire makeup. It defaults with 5 feet. You just click add and save here, and it populates. See the way that did that? 960 feet of MC, 12.2 MC, with the price and extended price. In other words, how much all 960 feet cost, hours and total labor, extended labor to install all of the MC cable. Now to that point, it also put in 2 saddle grip connectors per run, and see there 192 feet of supports. Okay, so I hope that helps. Again, the Conduit Wizard is this huge time saver. Use the forms that we have, especially the feeder schedule form, and it saves you time. And that's what it's all about to make money doing electrical, is saving time and being accurate. Okay, that's it for this video.